Hello and welcome to the Huddle. I'm your host JT Thomas, broadcasting live from the Green Turtle Sports Bar and Grill. Ladies and gentlemen, we just watched the Mountaineers come off a tough game with Virginia Tech as the Mountaineers fell victim to Virginia Tech 31-24. But we're going to do more than just talk about the Mountaineers. We got our high school guys here today. We got guys Javon Moore from Morgantown High School. And we also got Amir Richardson from University High School. And my good friend from WVU, Jordan Thompson, ready to talk about the Mountaineers and a little high school football. Here we go. Guys, let's jump into high school football right away. You guys just came, Javon, I just watched your game. Last week, you guys played Steubenville, one of the top teams coming out of Ohio. Really rough game. It started off kind of slow, but it seemed to be a little more hazardous for Morgantown. Talk about that game a little bit, Javon.
I feel like defensively we held our own. Like we held them to 6 points for the first half, but we just couldn't really connect as far as offense went. And after a while, once the defense is stopping and you're not capitalizing on offense, it's kind of hard to just keep holding them. And after about the first half, we kind of just ran out of gas, and then they took over.
Javon, you guys just played two high-quality teams. You had Allegheny North, the North Allegheny the first game of the season. Now coming off with Steubenville. You guys, are you looking forward to playing league play next week when you guys go to South?
Yeah, I feel like those two teams are definitely some of the best competition we'll see all year, but I feel like we can't really underestimate any team though, so we're just going to practice as if they're just any other team, and we're just going to go out and play our game. But I feel like that competition definitely has helped us as far as the rest of the season goes, so it'll just keep us ready for every other team, because that competition is just really good.
I suspect, Amir, you guys coming off a great win. You guys starting off the season 2-0, playing a great team last week. You put up some big numbers, and I have to say, I watched you execute a little bit. You did your thing. Talk about the game a little bit and how the team felt after having a victory against Parkersburg South.
That was just a great game for me and all my team. Of course, the biggest thing we did that game was execute, and that's how the score ended up being what it was. Play, no turnovers at all, 2 turnovers, no interceptions, throwing the ball everywhere, getting everybody involved. All of our receivers had over 50 yards, and he connected with me. We have a great relationship, and he has a great relationship with all the receivers, running backs, and defense played well. And it was a great feeling going in and being 2-0 and 2-0 in our conference.
How important it is to your team to start off good? I mean, you guys, as I mentioned, you ended up 8-3 last year. Coming out of the 83 season, how important is it for you to start off as well as you all have done this so far?
Starting off well is huge for me and my team, because 2 years ago we started off, we lost our first 7 games and ended up that season 2-8. So, but just like last year, starting off the season off well just gives the whole team a better vibe, better feeling going into practice. After games, and just feel so much better after a win. And injuries are a lot less when you're winning, and it means a lot starting off with a good streak and a win streak and keeping everybody healthy.
Javon, how many returning starters you guys got coming back? Are you guys sort of rebuilding, or where we are with Morgantown High?
I feel like as far as returning starters go, there's about 13 of us, and I think we have a lot of underclassmen that can help though, because we have a bunch of returning underclassmen as well, and it's just we're a little inexperienced, but I feel like we still have the experience there to where we can help up the younger guys to just rise them up to the level of varsity play. And I feel like we have the talent is there. We just got to keep going out and executing on Friday nights. And
Jordan, we'll bring in this thing because although you're in college now, you had to have a high school experience. Let's talk about some of these young guys that just came out of 2 big games Friday night. How important for them to focus on what they're doing and prepare for the next week's game?
Yeah, just to focus on the next week's game is you don't really worry about the past game result or what you did in the past game, because each game is a new game, new opportunity for you to go out and your team to go out and excel. So you just put the past behind you and focus on your next opponent because you never know. I mean, just look at, for instance, when UNLV just got beat by Howard. You never know. You never know. So you got to take every opponent seriously and just let the past be the past.
You know, Amir, everybody's talking about your catch the other night. Your Beckham Jr. Eskis catch. Really remarkable catch. It was almost like you caught it with one hand while you was falling back. It kind of looked like a backflip. Is that something you practice?
Oh, no, not at all. That's not something you practice at all. That's luck.
You guys have to go check it out. I mean, it was an awesome catch. It seemed like it was a fade to the corner. Just a the ball was placed perfectly where only Amir could catch it. He did a good job of hollering it in. Guys, we're going to continue to talk about high school football. Let's talk about this season for both of you guys. It is going to be one of those seasons where no matter where you guys end up during the season, there's one game that people are going to be talking about. I know we're talking about it earlier, but there's one game that you guys are looking forward to. Talk about potentially playing against your good friend over here and how that's going to work.
I mean, honestly, I love playing in the Mohawk Bowl because some of those guys are some of my best friends, and I've been playing with them since like 3rd grade, so it's just cool to get out there and just play against some familiar faces. But I feel like it's going to be a good game this year. Everyone's going to be hyped up, and it's just a classic rivalry. It's a fun game to play, but for now we're just going to focus one game at a time, and we'll worry about it as it comes.
Me, what you got, man? What you're thinking about the Mohawk game at some point? I know it's early now, but I got both of you here. Don't know if I'm going to get you back here later on during the season, so I'm going to talk about it now.
That's, of course, always the most exciting game of the year, the most anticipated game of the year. Everybody talks about the Mohawk Bowl, and it's not just for the Mohawk Bowl. You get a whole year of bragging rights, and that's honestly what people like the most, more than the trophy. But like Javon said, the Mohawk Bowl's week 10, and we got to win our games all the way up to that because our season is not based off the Mohawk Bowl. It's based on trying to get that championship at the end. And to get there, we got to get to the playoffs first.
Absolutely. I remember we were here last season, and the guy that asked your dad, one of the co-hosts of this show, about Oklahoma, and I kept saying, Oklahoma, we got Oklahoma 10 weeks from now, you know, and but we had to answer the question. So that's why I posed it to you all. And guys, hopefully we can get you to come back and continually be a part of that. Now, one thing I do want to highlight, how many touchdowns did you have last game?
3.
3 touchdowns. All righty, 3 touchdowns. Is that one of your, have you scored more than 3 touchdowns in the game?
In high school, no.
Okay, all right. Well, so that's the highest total right now.
Yes, sir.
All right, you guys make sure you pay close attention. Have you scored in the touchdowns yet, Javon?
Yes, I've had one this season so
One
far.
season, all right. Now listen, let me ask you this. The fact that Morgantown High is starting off slow, what does that do to your ball club mentality? I mean, do you say, okay, now we're going to be playing in our league, we're going to be playing games that count? How you guys deal with that?
I feel like honestly we take it as if right now we just have a lot to prove. Like there's a bunch of people doubting us so far. I mean, we've had a rough start. Right now we're 0-2, but we're just gonna take that and just feed off of it and just push harder because we just got a lot of people to prove wrong.
All right, let's get it. So Jordan, I don't want you to just be sitting here by yourself. I want to get you in on the conversation. Do you have any questions for these young men about high school football? As you mentioned earlier, you're from Texas.
Yeah, I'm
so
from
get
Texas.
them to educate you a little bit about area of football.
Well, like he was saying, y'all lost the season opener. You know, y'all probably kind of like, you don't know your true identity as far as a team yet. But like I said, you don't worry about the past. My freshman year, we started out 0-2. We got beat in a close game, our season opener. In our second game, we got blown out. Just blown out, and everybody was kind of like, it was unfamiliar. From where I came from, we're a powerhouse in Texas. We play 5A football, well 6A now, and they were just doubting us. Everybody was doubting, but no, you got to stay strong in those times. And we end up winning the state championship after going 0-2. So, like you said, that slow start, yeah, it's not ideal, but just keep your, just maintain and achieve that goal that y'all have as when you become champions.
One thing I will say about what I've noticed about the surrounding area is both football teams' fan base show up. I mean, the fans are, I mean, both sides of the town be jam-packed when you guys play ball. Doesn't matter who you play, it's always jam-packed. It's always a good time. It seems like everybody kind of enjoys themselves as you guys go out there and perform. Guys, let's get ready to do some giveaways here. Are we ready? We ready for our first giveaway? Ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you guys, the kid here, every Wednesday at 6 p.m. at the Green Turtle Sports Bar and Grill, I have a trivia question for you. And to answer this question, all you have to do is raise your hand. We'll bring a mic over to you, and we'll be doing it for this WVU Cup and Lanyard. First question. What is the current record of UHS? You can't take it, Coach. Coach, you can't get that, Coach.
He called it in the back. He had his hand over.
2-0.
All right, 2-0. I thought I was going to get you guys because I've been talking about Morgantown being 0-2. But there we go, 2-0. You're absolutely right, sir. Here you go. Thank you so much. Again, guys, to win, all you have to do is be here every Wednesday at 6 p.m. at the Green Turtle Sports Bar and Grill. Guys, let's keep after it. Guys, I want to talk about a little bit of Mountaineer football. You don't mind that, do you?
Yes, sir.
Did you guys see the game this weekend?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to jump right into this, Jordan. Now, I have to tell you, I have to say this. This has to be a first. That I'm sitting up here with all this offensive energy. Right? All this offensive energy. I'm a defensive guy, and I got all this offensive, which is cool. Mountaineers going to Virginia Tech is one of the biggest games of the year, regardless. I said going into this game, doesn't matter what a team's record is. When we put border rivals against each other, Jordy, I mean, hey.
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk about getting ready for a game like this. What do you say?
I mean, a lot of nerves, you know, or especially it being the season opener. Just being the season opener, finally, you know, you go through going through football camp, and you know how camp is in West Virginia and stuff. You know, going through camp, getting tired of hitting your own teammates, you finally get to go out on the field, show what you've been, you know, crafting your art for in front of thousands of fans. And on top of that, it's a rivalry. You got a lot of emotions going through your head. I know it was exciting. You know, it was a fun atmosphere. You know, despite you know the result that West Virginia came with an L, it doesn't make up the season. Like I said, I mean, there's so much more opportunities for us to do some damage.
Javon, just as you mentioned it with your team in terms of questions, you know, going into this game, there were many questions about the Mountaineers in terms of what we're going to look at quarterback, what we're going to look like in regard to a defensive team. And I have to say, early on in the game, all the feelings that I had in terms of anxiety kind of went away because I thought the team handled themselves very well. I mean, the first half of the game I thought went pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I was really impressed by Will Greer. He threw the ball really well, and I just feel like the defense was just on another level. Like that's my favorite part of the ball. So I just enjoyed watching the defense. Like White, he delivers the boom. So I enjoy watching him.
I mean, what did you think of that first half of Mountaineers?
First half was really exciting. Of course, Virginia Tech being a good team, but it was really fun to watch Will Greer in action. And at first he started off a little shaky, but then he started getting going. Gary Jennings, he really surprised me. He came out of nowhere. David Stills, he really surprised me. They were real good. We get Marcus Sims back next week. I think that'll help out a lot. And that defense, they had a lot of 3 and outs, and it was real exciting to watch all of them. And especially like Javon said, Kazir White, he's really the real deal, and I watch his highlights a lot.
You know, going into the game, it was almost like with the Will Greer show, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, everybody was anticipating what this young man was going to do after sitting on the shelf for a year. He came back very poised. He himself didn't seem like it was a big deal. I mean, he seemed like, hey, I just want to go out there and play football. Yeah. What do you think about it? Have you been hearing anything?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to think about it. He played at Florida, and then he was also put in the position at Florida to bring back the team. They were down against Tennessee, and he brought them back to win the game. So he's very poised and very confident in what his ability to do as a quarterback. So I feel like his game was more not being nervous. It was more being anxious and finally being able to showcase his ability as the Mountaineers quarterback. And all the hype and stuff, I mean, you have to believe it. And he's very humble. He's a very humble person.
And that's what you kind of get. I mean, again, I just hadn't heard any real chatter from Will Greer himself. one thing I know, on this show, I'd like to brag, guys. I was a quarterback in high school. So I like to talk from a quarterback perspective, say, once a quarterback kind of exudes that he has the confidence to lead the team,
right,
those pieces behind him or on the side of him really started to respond. And I thought Gary Jennings started responding in a big way, as well as David Seals. In fact, all the guys actually started responding to him and responding on the way to get to the football. Again, I was really excited about Will Greer. I think a lot of questions have been answered, and I think our ball club is sitting quite well moving into up-and-coming season.
Yeah.
And any other thoughts on Will Greer before I move on?
Yeah, I mean, just the way he decided, he was making the throws in the first half, and even in the second half, he was making the throws, and it just came down to like the receivers and his players making plays, and they actually showcased and definitely made plays. They definitely stepped up with David Sills and Gary Jennings and even Karan. They made plays. He put them in the position to make plays, and they made plays. And that just comes down to being confident with your quarterback and just having that trust. And even the old lineman, if you can notice, Will Greer barely even got hit. I mean, he got hit sometimes, which you will see that, but not as much as, Clint Trickey used to get hit in the past and stuff, But I'm definitely excited to see what he's going to do for West Virginia these upcoming games.
And, keep in mind, they got through the ball 54 times.
Yeah.
He was 31 for 54 so you throwing the ball that many times, you're going to touch the ground at some point. But now in the same sense, one thing about this show that I think is cool, like we are beholden to nobody, so we can be critical, right? So my own, I guess it's not even a criticism, it's an observation. I was really kind of taken back by how less we use Crawford.
Right.
I'm not sure if he's hurt, but the guy ran for 106 yards. Right, and that was when we gave him the ball later into the game. He's a kid. I thought he rushed over 1,000 yards last year. Early in the game, we got to get that kid the ball. What do you think?
Well, I think the reason why Crawford didn't get as many touches as many people thought is because we fell behind. Usually, when a team falls behind, you're playing catch up, so you want to hurry up and score fast. The fastest way to score is through the air, But at the end of the game, they started giving him the rock because they were dropping 8. There was only 8 people in coverage and 3 people were rushing, so that's when they started handing the ball. You saw the big game. But like I said, I don't think Crawford, it wasn't his show as it has been in the recent years. But I don't think he's discouraged or anything. No. He understands the game plan, and they came in with the game plan. They executed it. They could have executed a little bit better, but they came in, executed, and I know Crawford. He's a team player. He knows his time is coming. It could be this week. You never know. Crawford could run for 200 yards this week. You just never know when your name can be called upon. So that's what I think.
And that's the good thing about this ball club. It seems like it's the next man up mentality in terms of, you had Kennedy, you had Pettigrew, they all were ready and prepared to do whatever the coach asked them to do. Again, that is the plus side in terms of what I thought the Mountaineers exhibited this week was you didn't see anybody discouraged. You didn't see anybody get upset when they, regardless of what was going on, with the exception of one person. But outside of that, no problems in terms of people getting upset. What do you think about the running back situation? I mean, your observation of what the Mountaineers looked like early on in the game. Either one of you guys.
I thought the running game went well because we ran Kennedy McCoy a lot, and he's real good. I didn't realize how tall he actually was. I thought he was little. He's actually a very tall running back. He runs very hard for his size, and his cuts are very good. He gets a lot of yards after he gets the ball, and it's real fun to watch him. And Crawford needs to get the ball more, of course, but I thought they had a good balance between him and Kennedy McCoy.
Yeah. What do you think?
I really enjoyed watching the passing game, but like you said before, I would have liked to see Crawford get the ball more, just because, like you said before, last year he rushed for like over 1,000 yards. So he's just he's really fun to watch, and I just enjoy watching him. But I feel like just as the weeks go on, he'll get his time.
Coach Hogerson said, and I don't even know if he said it right. I kind of feel like he's essentially saying, watch my team. Opposed to what people think about where the Mountaineers are going to find themselves in the Big 12. Coach Hogerson kind of just said, I think we got something here. And from what I saw this past week, I feel we got something here. We got an offensive weaponry. We got wide receivers. We got a running game. Although it's the first game, but I just feel we're in a better space than what most people thought we were in. I feel good about it.
Yeah, I definitely agree too. I think also because it's Hogerson, when he feels like it is his team, because everybody on that roster is players he recruited. So it's finally a full Holgorsen team, where like in the past it was like a mixture. But I definitely feel like it's going to be an exciting year for West Virginia this year. I think there's going to be a lot of big games and a lot of big victories that are going to come up, and I hope to see us in the Big 12 championship this year too.
Yeah. You know, one person in particular that I just want to talk about, David Seals. David Seals, the guy who came in as a quarterback, played a little bit, and he actually caught a few passes. Then he transferred to junior college. He comes from junior college, he comes back and scores the first touchdown in the game. Do you know that guy? What do you know anything about David Seals?
Yeah, I actually played with David my senior year. It was his true freshman year. He actually scored the winning touchdown for us in the Cactus Bowl. So, you know, I know David. He's a funny guy, great dude, just a great team player and everything. He left West Virginia because he came here as a quarterback, and they converted him to receiver. Because we had a lot of quarterbacks on the roster, and he was going to be starting, but he's one heck of an athlete. I can tell you that right now. So the transition to receiver was like nothing for him. But he left because he wanted to try his, fulfill his quarterback dreams, and then after he went out there, he wanted to come back home. He missed playing wearing the blue and gold, and he wanted to be part of the team. So that's why he came back. But
I didn't know the guy was 6'4".
Oh man, yeah, he's tall, he's skinny, but he's tall. He can run too, but yeah, he's tall. He's 6'4". He's also a great basketball player. So
yeah, that's all right.
I'm telling you, he's an athlete, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go after it again. I want to give something away. What do we want to give away this time? We're gonna give away this hat. We're gonna give away this hat, guys and ladies and gentlemen. All you have to do to win this stuff is come down here every Wednesday at 6 p.m. at the Green Turtle Sports Bar and Grill. If you don't catch us here, make sure you go to DominionPost.com and check us out there. We'll always be there. Okay, all you have to do to win this hat is be the first person to raise your hand so we can get you the mic and get the right answer. Who was the first person to score a touchdown against Virginia Tech this past weekend? The first person to score a touchdown for the Mountaineers. All you had to do was listen. I gave it to you. Okay, I'll give you some multiple.
He raised his hand.
Okay.
David Sills.
David Sills. Yes. I got to get better at my setup here. Thank you so much, sir. Again, ladies and gentlemen, to win, all you have to do is come down here every Wednesday at 6 p.m. at the Green Turtle Sports Bar and Grill. Guys, let's get back right after it. I'm going to go into what I like to talk about the most, and that's defense. I have to say, guys, there have been many discussions, or I've been a part of many discussions where people felt like we lost a lot of defensive players, wondering why or how the Mountaineers are going to pull it together after losing so many guys. I have to say, we didn't do bad at all. I thought from a front line perspective, we did quite well stopping the run. They didn't do well outside. I guess for the most part, it was more stuff that was off tackle. And from my opinion, that's more of a linebacker territory where we probably missed something here. What do you guys think about defense?
I feel like the defense did real good, but like Virginia Tech took a few shots here and there at the D-backs, and I feel like we could have guarded that better. But for the most part, I just feel like defense in the first half was just on another level, and they just came out. They just had an energy to them, and it was just really fun to watch, and I just enjoyed it.
You know, I have to say that when we lose as many guys as we do, and the team don't try to attack you at the cornerback spot, they have a level of respect for you, in my opinion, right? We just lost some key guys at that cornerback and safety spot last year, and our guys were able to step right up and really defend the long ball pretty well. What do you think about the defense and the cornerback in that secondary group?
I thought the defense on run did amazing. We limited them not many yards. What they were getting us on was that fake bubble and go with Cam Phillips. He was a heck of an athlete, number 5 for Virginia Tech. He was killing us, but I thought overall the defense played really well. They were swarming to the ball, a lot of big hits, no turnovers, but I thought the defense played well. And Askew Henry, first time seeing him out there, it was fun to watch him finally get back after it. And they got him a few times, but he's overall a very good player. Number 4, the new corner we got, he played well. And Kazir White, of course. And I'm looking forward to watching this defense and offense.
And I know this as a matter of fact, right? That 3-3-5 defense is a defense that everyone believes is tough to learn. But I have to say, when you guys got guys like Al Rashid Bennett, Xavier Preston, I thought they did a great job in terms of playing the run and showing up when they needed to. Again, guys, this is essentially a new group, right? Very few of them got playing experience. I would say that the front line, I think it's one guy that has playing experience. And then I think last year we had Xavier Preston and Al Rashid Bennett played the most. And the other two guys are newer guys. What do you think about those guys stepping in and being able to pick it up right away?
Well, like I said, the Mountaineer mentality is the next man up. Because if you even think about it, if you go back to last year when we, the year before when we lost Carl and KJ Dillon and Kwiatkowski, when they left, they're in the same situation. And yet, West Virginia had a great year, 10-3. So, I mean, there's the next guy mentality. And like the guys that filled in for that Virginia Tech game, they did a phenomenal job. They really did a great job, especially having the inexperience as at the position they were in. On the defense overall, I think they were a great job. They did a great job in the first half, but then the offense didn't capitalize on the stop. In the second half, offense was scoring, but defense couldn't capitalize on the offensive scoring. So, like I said, football's a team game, and you can't do one without the other. And what I would like to see more about the defense, I know it will come, is turnovers.
That's what I was gonna say. Absolutely.
You gonna say turnovers?
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I know Gibby personally. We always pride turnover. He always prides turnovers, and I didn't see turnovers in that game, and that could be a big issue. Just for that game is the reason why the results ended the way it did.
Right.
But overall, a phenomenal job by the defense.
That's a great observation from an offensive guy to realize you got to get those turnovers. Absolutely. I was just gonna say that. And really, it is just a pivotal part of the game. When the defense expects to make something happen, especially when a game is not going your way, right? When you feel like that's stagnant, where we just can't get one over, somebody on that defense has to say, I'm going to get the ball out, right? You got to have that mentality. And I'm sure they're going to go back, and as you know, they have that chart up there, and they go over the goals for the game, and they're going to look at that column, and they're going to say, they probably have a goal at least 3 turnovers. I think that's common.
It's 3 turnovers.
3 turnovers. That's what it was 20 years ago. I'm assuming it's about the same. And when they look at that and see, they're going to look at that and realize we got to get more turnovers. That gives our team a better chance in terms of winning these ball games. One area that I thought was okay was our kicking game, our field goal kicking versus Virginia Tech. Right, Molina did a great job of executing the kicks opposed to his counterpart over at Virginia Tech. He struggled a little bit, and that's the thing you don't want to see from a kicker is when you have a chance to come away with scores, you don't come away with scores. Do you guys have that problem in high school?
No, with our kicker, we have Jonah Ferris as our kicker, number 17. He's actually money. He didn't miss one kick last year, and coming in this year, he missed one 42-yarder, and it was just a little bit wide left. But special teams definitely can change the game for sure. We lost the game last year because of special teams. It completely shifted the momentum. 2 years ago, we lost the game off a punt block for a touchdown. So special teams is definitely huge. But I thought WVU special teams did better. I'd like to see the punts go a little further by UHS alumni Billy Kinney. But I thought special teams overall, they did very well.
Ron, what do you think?
We've had recently a pretty rough history as far as field goals and kicking and stuff like that. Like last year for first 2 or 3 games, we didn't even have a kicker. So Coleman Hazen actually stepped in, and I feel like he, for a first-time kicker, he just did amazing. And I don't think he really missed too many, like maybe 2 or 3 here and there, but he just had a phenomenal year. But this year we have freshman John McConnell, and it was his first ever high school game, and after the score, he went wide left, but I feel like he could shake it off. It's just first time jitters, and just shake it off. And I feel like he'll have a pretty good year.
I know that's a tough feeling. Again, I know love lost between me and Virginia Tech. So that kicker, he'll work it out. I'm glad that we did a good job of executing when we needed to execute. Again, guys, I feel real good about where we're heading with the team. I don't have any huge observation, but you know, the elephant in the room is we got to keep our guy on the sideline doing his thing. You know, again, the good thing about it is I ain't getting paid by them. You know, so guys, it is gonna be a good season for the Mountaineers, and I just hope. Last show we talked about this is tamping down the expectations of our fans. Fans, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We ready to give something away? Okay, alrighty. Guys, I want to remind you, every week, 6 p.m. at the Green Turtle Sports Bar and Grill, all you have to do is come down here and you'll have an opportunity to win something. You know what? I didn't mention this is the last time. This is a yes or no question. I didn't mention it in the show, but I think everybody should know this. True or false, actually. It's true or false. All right, the question is, you got to raise your hand, guys. You got to raise your hand. And the first one that raised their hand. True or false, Coach Hogerson is the offensive coordinator for the Mountaineers.
False.
False, absolutely, absolutely. There you go. Again, guys, you saw that? That's that quarterback giving. You see, that was right on, wasn't it? Yeah. Again, guys, all you have to do is be down here at 6 p.m.
I know, I know. Hey, one way, right?
Listen, every Wednesday at 6 p.m. at the Green Turtle Sports Bar and Grill. All you have to do is come down here. It's just that easy. If you don't catch us here, make sure you go to the DominionPost.com and you can catch us there. All right, guys, let's get back into it. Guys, we got to talk about the third phase of the game. Right? We talked about offense. We talked about defense. Coach Hogerson loves to see there's all three sides of the ball. Special teams in terms of kickoff return, punt return. You know, so I say this every year. Coach Dillon talks about special teams as being for special guys. We got to get guys on that special team who want to make something happen. I mean, in high school, what do you guys think about special teams?
Honestly, I feel like special teams is just as important as everything else on the ball. Like they say, it's a third of the game, so it's a huge part. And like last year against UHS, Shaquille Johnson took back a kick return for a touchdown, and that just shifted the whole game. And I would have liked to see some more returns, like punt returns from WVU.
Scott.
Special teams, like I said earlier, they're a real big deal, and there's a lot of teams that put like the worst players on special teams to give their starters a break, and that'll honestly break it by far, because I know at UHS we have all of our starters on special teams. Everybody on special teams is a two-way starter, so that's definitely a way to capitalize the game. It's because the 6 points of special teams counts just like offensive or defensive 6 points. So I'd say special teams is something that you need to cover and that you can capitalize off, because they can bring you some points and some turnovers.
Now, Jordan, did you play special teams? Were you a punt returner at one point?
Yeah.
Talk to us about that. Talk to us about what's going on with the punt returning, man.
Well, first of all, on special teams, they take it very seriously. Like you'll see a lot of starters on special teams.
Okay.
Because, like you said, it's the third important phase of the game. I mean, punt return. That's how we start off practice. That's how we start off watching film. It starts off with special teams. So we take it very serious, watch a lot of film, watch a lot of scheme and stuff. You know, I was on punt return, I was on kickoff return, I was on hands team, which is onside kick. I was on onside kick. So our whole lineup was full of starters. So like it's a very serious issue, because it can basically make or break the game. For Virginia Tech, I mean, they lost the kicking game. I feel like they lost the kicking game, but however they did win the defensive game because they had more stops than West Virginia did, and they also won the offensive game because they scored more than West Virginia. So they won 2 out of the 3, and the result was a victory. But as far as our kicking game is very good, very clean. You know, I've seen them very clean. I mean, their kicker didn't give us much chance for kickoff return, and the punter did a great job with the hang time, so we couldn't get a return off. So as far as again, their field goal kicker. I'd be kind of nervous out with them, but that's them. But I know my boy Mike Molina. He'll knock it down. At least 45. He'll knock it down. He'll knock it down.
Good stuff. Good stuff. You know, I saw that the young guy they put back there, Bush. Tevin Bush. Tevin Bush, I'm excited to see what he can do. He's about your stature guy. He's a small guy.
He's definitely quick. He's
fast, pretty quick.
He's definitely an explosive playmaker that they have. You know, they're trying to find ways to get him the ball. You saw they were trying to give him the jet sweep and the little swing pass and stuff. They're trying to get ways to put balls in there because I know he can definitely turn a little gain into a lot just by making the guy miss.
Yeah, guys, I'm excited about it. The fact that they're trying different guys tells me that they see something, right? For him to be back there catching punts, I know they had Gary Jennings back there last year. I suspect they're trying to work that part out. When I say work it out, what I'm interested in seeing, folks, is when we had Tavon Austin back there. You know, those were, you know, when you get a punt return and you get 20, 30 yards, you know, on a punt return. And those don't come by very easy nowadays.
It was
you know?
exciting watching him, especially playing with him. It was very exciting.
Right.
You know? Defense just hold their breath and everything because the whole stadium just waiting to see what he does, man. It was exciting, but that changes the game.
Yeah, so that's what I mean when I say, you know, in terms of what I'd like to see more. Again, what we do here, what I try to do is make sure we have high expectations for our team.
Right.
As fans, I know the fans do, and I try to convey to the fans that as former players, we still have high expectations for our guys as well. And it's good for the players to know that. It's good for the players to know that, because what they'll do, they end up seeing us over at the stadium or seeing us at some point, and we'll say something. You know, we'll say, hey, you know, I know that a lot of NFL guys come back and stand on the sideline, although they don't engage the guys then. I know after the game they're saying something. Somebody said, I know I would. I know if I was there, I would, because it's just my character. But guys, let's keep on talking. Now let's talk about what's coming up next for the Mountaineers. And I'm gonna move right in. I talked about you guys are playing Parkersburg South next weekend, right? You guys are playing Brook this Friday, right? This Friday. So the Mountaineers will be playing East Carolina,
right?
East Carolina Pirates. This is their 22nd time that the Mountaineers will be facing East Carolina. We're 18-3 versus East Carolina. The last time we played them, it was 2009. Now I'm going to say this. I will admit to this. We were talking about letdowns before the show, and we were talking about underestimating guys. And I have to say, I was on a team for 1995 against East Carolina. We end up losing the game 23-20. I personally had an opportunity to change the game. There was 2-3 minutes left in the game. They were on the 40-yard line going into the end zone. And the ball came right to me, looked like a big balloon coming out of the sky. It was just too big for me. I just couldn't believe it. And I daggone dropped the ball. Drop the ball. Yeah. You know, that's why I play linebacker, you know. I could have saved the game and I dropped the ball. You know, oh my God.
You said that's why you play linebacker. No, you play linebacker because you're a little bit more athletic than the D lineman, you know what I'm saying? They expect you to catch it. If they didn't expect you to catch it, you'd been on the line.
I agree with that. So again, that's the last time we played East Carolina that I was a part of it. So I say that to say, guys, we can't take East Carolina lightly. They come in here 0-2, Jordan. They want to win a ball game, and they're not going to lay down for the Mountaineers. So what do you think about East Carolina coming here in Mountaineer Stadium this upcoming week?
They're going to be on a mission. They're definitely going to be on a mission. I feel like they're going to have all the confidence in the world. They're going to feel like they're not going to take anything from West Virginia. They're going to come out here, play a physical game, a very aggressive game, and they're going to feel like they can actually win the game. You know, that's what you want to expect for a opponent. You want great competition. You know, to know that, you know what, we beat you at your best. We're just better than y'all. You're in the past. Now, our record, we have one more victory. So, I think East Carolina's going to come here. They're going to watch film. They're going to note the little mistakes that West Virginia did, learn from that mistake, and then from there, they're just going to try to execute their game plan. And they're really going to feel like they're going to win this game, but I don't think so.
And we get that year in and year out where guys come in here and you know, they compete. I mean, as a football player, you guys know that's what it is, right? They put their pants on just like you do. It's about going out there and competing. What do you think West Virginia got to do to go ahead and take it to East Carolina this week?
I feel like they just can't underestimate him. Like, you never take an opponent lightly, no matter how much better you feel that you are. Like, if you just think about it, like, both teams are 0-1, so statistically, like, they're on the same level. So they're both going to have to go out there, and I feel like WVU is just going to have to go out there and just play their game and just compete.
I agree. What you got?
I think first WVU home game, Gold Rush against East Carolina, coming off Virginia Tech. I think we're going to kill them. I don't think it'll be close at all. I think Will Greer is going to throw for at least 500. I think Crawford will run for at least 150, and Stills, Greer, and all them, they're just going to kill him. I don't think it'll be a close game at all.
All right, that's the confidence in the mirror. That's all right. I like that. That's not a bad thing. Guys, again, it's time to give away something. So I want to find an opportunity to give you away something, and all you had to do was kind of listen to what I said. But to win, you have to be here every Wednesday at 6 p.m. at the Green Turtle Sports Bar and Grill. So, ladies and gentlemen, when was the last, well, I better say this. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. When was the last time West Virginia played East Carolina? This guy is paying attention.
2009.
There you go, 2009. Sir, you're going to have a closet here in a little bit.
Nah, man. Keep winning.
You're absolutely right. Again, guys, all you have to do is listen up. The gentleman was right again. 2009 was the last time we played East Carolina. And the quarterback was Jared Brown. Jared Brown had a good game. Okay, yes, sir. Jared Brown. And we'll go right into it. If we're okay, we're good to go. So, guys, again, make sure you come out. Watch the Mountaineers this weekend against East Carolina. Cheer them on. Get them prepared for the season. This is the right game at the right time. But, again, don't take it for granted because they won't. So, again, after you watch the Mountaineer game, come back down to here and be prepared to ask us some questions. So right now, we're going to ask that the audience, if you have any questions for anybody on the panel, we'll take your question and answer to the best of our ability. Raise your hand and we'll get the mic over to you.
I'm going to step up this week, JT.
Okay.
Who do you look for to be the next standout in our secondary where we really need it? Who do you see being the go-to guy in our secondary?
Guys, you got it. What do you guys think?
Secondary, I would say
Ours
White.
Yeah, White.
Kazir White.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a stretch. I'm gonna go with my boy Drayvon Askew Henry. Drayvon's gonna be the step-up guy because I'm gonna tell you the reason why I think that. He was already a leader as a sophomore. He played as a true freshman when I was a senior. He's probably one of the hardest working players I've ever played with, and that was his freshman year. And then he got his sophomore year taken away from him because he tore his ACL. You know, but now I know he's back. He's hungry. I talked to him before the game actually, and so that's definitely who I think is going to be the next guy that's going to step up and dominate. And whenever we need that critical play, it's going to be him.
You know, I have to say, I like to see Al Rashid Bennett be a step-up guy for us. Because I know how important that middle linebacker spot is, right? Kudakowski did well in there, you know what I mean? We got to get guys to be in there. And that middle linebacker is such a major figure, whether it be pass or run. So I'm expecting a lot of Al Rashid Bennett. Thanks for that question. Yes, sir.
For Javon Moore, what game are you looking forward to in the future the most?
Personally, I'd probably say the Mohawk Bowl, but like we said before we got into this, you just got to take the games one game at a time, but just Mohawk Bowl. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Any more questions? Any more questions? Don't be quiet now. What do we got? Any more questions?
You got a question?
JMU gave up, or JMU had 420 yards of rushing against ECU. Where would you set the over-under at for what Mountaineers will have?
Rushing or scoring?
Rushing.
Rushing yards? I said the over-under at rushing yards would be 170.
Wow. That's a lot of rushing.
Oh, what's up, man? Yeah, what's up? Look, you got.
But I'm gonna tell you this though. I watched my young man play at Thompson,
Yeah.
right? And what was that little name you used to call you? Squeak or
Squirt.
Squirt,
Yeah.
something like that. Now you took some shots going across the middle. As I try to tell my son, what can you do to make sure that you're safe, that you don't take those type of shots?
Yeah, it's just personally, to be safe, just when you don't have to take a hit, don't take a hit. So step out of bounds. Like, yeah, you know, people are like, oh, yo, blah, 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 whatever. But you got to step out of bounds. You got to take care of your body, because the less hits you take, the more healthy you'll be throughout the season. You know, sometimes you can't escape it just because the quarterback just sets you up or something. You know,
Exactly.
But other than that, and also, you know, if there's nowhere to go after you get the ball, there's nowhere to go. It's just you and like 3 defenders surround you. Just fall to the ground. Just fall to the ground, get back up, and just get back to the huddle, because the less, like I said, the less shots. Because what happened to me, I stopped taking as many shots as I usually did in practice.
As you get older.
As you get older, you're going to start feeling it, man. You can start feeling it, you know. But I started taking less shots. And I learned this from Tavon, because in practice, he would run out of bounds, or if there was nowhere to go, he'd just drop on the ground. And the defensive players hate it. Defense players hate it. When they cannot hit you, they just hate it. So if you just hurry up and just drop to the ground, keep your body healthy, you know, prepare for the season, you'll be fine.
Well, and one last question here. Now, you started feeling it during the year. What's the one game when you was feeling it? You was like, yo, get me the ball. I'm that guy today.
There's actually probably about 2 games I actually felt like it. The Texas Tech game when my junior year.
Who was your quarterback?
Clint. Trickett.
Trickett, that's right.
We were down like 17 points going into the fourth quarter. I scored a 56-yard touchdown because they kept doubling Kevin. And so they just put me on Kevin's side. It was one-on-one with the linebacker, and I just broke the middle. And in the final possession, I caught 4 passes. In the final possession, set up a field goal. So it was that game too. And then also when we played against Kansas State, when we played against Kansas State my senior year, they were just leaving one-on-one just the whole entire game. I just felt like I could beat the dude one-on-one. I was telling Dane, kept telling him, yeah, you know, sometimes you got to be in the coach's ear, like, hey man, like they're leaving me one-on-one. I'm seeing this. You know, you got to trust me. He trusted me. He finally gave in and trusted me, and we ended up getting a big game before the fourth quarter, and then. You know, we lost the game because of a special team error.
Yep. Lock it.
Guy took it to the crib, and you know, but those are 2 games definitely.
Well, I just want to say you had a great career with the Mountaineers.
Hey, appreciate it, man. Thanks.
Got time for one more question? One or 2 more questions? Okay. Any more questions? Thank you.
Amir, what is the hardest part about balancing your time as an athlete and student?
It's not real hard to me right now in high school, of course, because I mean the work just comes to me pretty easily. But I know in college it'll mostly be just staying on task. That's the plan.
Nope.
Any more questions? Any more questions? Tell you what, I like you high school guys. I'll tell you. Yeah. Any more questions? Now don't wait till you see one of us around the bar or around in the bathroom and ask us the questions. That's usually how it goes. You gotta wait till we're heading out and say, let me ask you this. Don't be afraid. Ask the question. Any more questions? I'm telling you, that's how it goes. When I get ready to walk out of the door, I'm telling you, I walk out of the door and they have a question.
After Virginia Tech, what do you think our record's going to be?
After Virginia Tech, you know what? I actually feel like we're going to do. Last year, I had us at 7-5, right? But there's been so much changing in terms of Oklahoma lost their coach. Baylor, I saw Baylor against Liberty.
Yeah, they got beat, but
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think the best thing, like you said, Oklahoma lost their coach, but that's the best thing for Oklahoma.
Yeah,
man. You'll see Saturday.
I'll see. Okay. I feel like we can do 9. We can win at least 9 games.
I think honestly, truthfully, I think the only game that I'm kind of like I don't see Mountaineers that's coming up on top is against Oklahoma. That's honestly the only game. They match up well against Oklahoma State because they're both similar. We always matched up well against Oklahoma State. Definitely gonna beat Kansas. Kansas State, I think we'll beat Kansas State, even though that's a very disciplined team. Very disciplined. That's what makes them hard to beat. They don't beat themselves. As far as Texas Tech, we'll beat Texas Tech just because we have more experience than them. They're dealing with a lot of stuff over there. TCU will beat TCU as well. Texas, that's going to be an interesting game against Texas. You know, like I said, they're going through an identity where the change, just with Tom Herman as the head coach there. You know, I think Texas is probably about another 2 years to being the Texas we grew up, like I grew up as, with the Vince Young era and all that stuff, being that dominant force in the Big 12. But I think West Virginia's going to beat Texas and everything. But I think Oklahoma is that's just that game, and it's in Norman, and it's the last game of the season where all the kinks is out of the, you know. But hey, you never know. That's why you play the game. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, you never know what happens. I mean, like I said, you know, West Virginia can play Oklahoma and then turn around and play them again the next week or next 2 weeks in the conference championship. So you never know. You never know. You know, that's why you play the game. So, yeah, I definitely see us just if we were to lose any game, it would be that game. So, just losing one game after. So, just one game after. I have them going through the Big 12. I have them beating Baylor. I have them beating TCU. I have them beating Texas, Texas Tech, Kansas State. I have them definitely beating Oklahoma State. And I just think Oklahoma's just and then Iowa State. I think there'll be Iowa State too. So. Yeah, there's a lot of parity in the Big 12, and that's what makes it kind of difficult because one play could change the entire ball game. So it's just a lot of parity, and it makes it a fun conference. So yeah, that's a good question.
Great question. No. What do we got? 5 minutes. I got at least 2 more questions. 2 more questions. I'm telling you, if I get up and start heading out, don't grab me by the back of the neck. Question.
What do you think of Coach Holgerson's decision to let go of the reins, calling plays? Do you think it was a good decision?
You know, I think that was a good decision. I think it was a good decision, you know, because there are going to be some key areas in time. I mean, there were some areas in the game where in terms of calling time out and things of that name and managing that part of it that I think is going to be real critical. And I think it just frees him up to be able to do that. And I believe he has enough confidence in his offensive coordinator now where it's going to work out fine. I mean, I feel good about it. You know a little bit more than I do.
I mean, you guys know. You give y'all take on it if y'all want.
I thought it was a good idea, but I didn't think the offense was bad last year with a 10-2 record. And I think, well, for Coach Holgerson's state of mind is a lot better. He's a lot more calmer on the sideline other than the penalty, but I think it was a good way to do it because I think the new offensive coordinator we got is he's special.
And just to touch upon that, I feel like with him like not really calling the plays, he could just focus more on the all-around standpoint for like defense, special teams, and everything. Also, like he's not trying to take up time to figure out like what play they're gonna run for the next drive or anything like that. He can just be more to just give like his input and like everything in the aspects of the game.
Guys, I do want to do this. I want to give Coach Holgerson a huge shout out because he looked good in the blue and gold now. I used to like that black, but he looks good in the blue and gold. So I want to give him a quick shout out for wearing the blue and gold now. I'm kind of digging that, Coach.
Yeah.
Guys, so if we don't have any else, I want to do this. I want to make sure we give a round of applause for these high school guys who came out here. I thought they did a great job, and I look forward to having them back. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you to come out here every Wednesday at 6 p.m. to the Green Turtle Sports Bar and Grill. And if you don't catch us here, make sure you go check us out on the DominionPost.com. Until next time, huddle up.